Well, hello there, people of the internet. So, Factorio, the game I spent way too much time playing, and I'm kinda ashamed to admit, but here's my opinion about the game, and here's my review of the game. So the first thing I will mention is that this game is stupid addictive. If I could sum the entire game in one sentence, it would go something like this. You start with a simple axe on an alien planet, pretty much alone. And by using that axe and your ingenuity, your hard work and your determination, raw materials and a lot of time, you end up launching a rocket and a satellite in that rocket. That's what you have to do to win the game. Well, that's actually not one sentence, but you get the point. The game is not easy, it's not simple, and most certainly isn't for everyone. See, watching the trailer or watching someone else play the game might be actually intimidating. There are so many things you have to learn and so many things you have to know, keep an eye on, keep track of, and stuff like that. So it can be pretty intimidating. The game itself is just a basically never-ending circle of production and consumption. Here's a good example. In order to progress through the game, you have to research different technologies, like defense, automatizations, logistics, trains, etc. in order to keep your laboratories moving. By the way, laboratories are needed to research all kinds of different technologies. To keep your labs moving, you need science packs. There are 4 science packs. And here comes the tricky bit. If you want to make, for example, science pack 2, you need the following. You need an inserter and a conveyor belt. To make an inserter, you need a steel plate which is made in a furnace. You also need a metal gear, which requires 1 steel plate. Electric circuit is also needed. It is made by combining 3 copper wires and a single steel plate. Copper wire is made in an assembly machine by putting in copper plates in it. Once you have your inserters and your belts in production, you have to transport them to another assembly machine via transport belts to make them into a single science pack. Once you have your science packs, you have to deliver them to the laboratories either by tracks, trains, or robots. And this is only science pack 2. I'm not even going to talk about other stuff like Science Pack 3 where you need a steel plate, a battery, a filter inserter and stuff. For example, for battery you use sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid you need sulfur, and for sulfur you need this and that. It shit gets real fast. And don't forget that throughout this entire time you need electric power, electricity. Power is generated via steam engines or solar panels. For steam engines, you have to pump water from the lake to the engines, but first you have to heat them up in boilers. The boilers must have a constant supply of coal in order to keep going, or you can manually insert wood into them, something I don't recommend. As I said, later in the game you can make a giant solar farm and next to it like a giant farm of accumulators, which are basically big batteries for storing electric energy. Why? Well, solar panels don't really work during the night. Please keep in mind that when you are burning stuff like coal, it creates pollution, and pollution makes the locals a bit mad. Speaking of the locals, if you wander around a bit, you will run up to them, you will see them. However, if you don't touch them, they won't attack you. If you turn on peaceful mode at the beginning of the game. If you don't turn on peaceful mode, they will attack you. I cheaped out and turned on peaceful mode. I don't really want to be attacked. I don't want my equipment to be destroyed by aliens. But if you turn off peaceful mode, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Trust me. And if you set yourself, no, I shall not be killing anybody. I'm going to be an angel. I won't kill everybody. I'll spare everyone. No, wrong. You will have to kill them in order to make Science Pack 4. So keep that in mind. There are multiple ways of killing them: lasers or rifles, flamethrowers, bombs, rockets, grenades, etc. That's kinda the sum of the game. It's definitely not for everybody. If you are planning to get this game, I highly recommend spending some time on the game's wiki to read through all the stuff you can make. The game is definitely not for everybody. I do recommend if you like these types of games. But there's something really satisfying about this game, you know? When you set everything up, you spend a lot of time setting up, and then just let everything run by itself. It's like all automated. Everything is automated. Everything is working nicely. Mostly. However, keep this in mind. You can fuck up. You will fuck up. But trust me, at the end it is worth. See, all this production lines, you have to kind of keep a balance. You always have to keep in mind how much steel you are making, how much copper, how many copper wires, etc, etc. For example, if your requirements for copper wire are way too much and you're not making enough copper wires, you will have a bad time and your entire factory will grind to a painful halt. Well, maybe part of it. Maybe not the entire factory, but it'll grind to a halt. Yeah, and keep in mind that the map is like in Minecraft, it's pretty much infinite if you set it to be infinite at the beginning of the game. You can also set how many resources you will have at the beginning of the game, so yeah, you do have a lot to choose. There's also multiplayer to play with your friends, and mods, there are mods also, so yeah, keep that in mind. So how long does it take to launch a bloody rocket? Well, on my first time playing it took me 22 hours to launch a rocket on peaceful mode. So yeah, it's a lot of time. Trust me, this game is highly addictive and time just flies like stupid when you're playing this game. I wasted way too much time playing this game, but yeah, worth it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Tell me what you think about this game. Tell me about these types of videos. Should I make more game reviews? Oh yeah, and keep in mind, this game is still in alpha stage. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Do make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing ya. Peace out!